When you think healing is fixing yourself, there is an assumption hiding underneath. It assumes that something is wrong with you, that there is a defect, there is a crack, something is broken, something is damaged. So what you do, you approach your personality like a problem. You start getting rid of stuff, you start getting rid of your attitude, start getting rid of your habits, you start looking at your attachment style and so on and so forth. And without realizing that you've turned your inner life into a repair project. But what I have noticed, and I believe you would have noticed it also, is that most of the time when we say we want to fix ourselves, we focus on the symptoms rather than like the root cause of it. Because fixing focuses on behavior, understanding focuses on the meaning. Why do I do the things I do? Why do I act like this? Why am I like this? Those are the questions that you tend to ask yourself, and then you go on the repair project, not the understanding project. So let me cite this example for you. This is something I have learned from my work, actually, and I'll just want to put it, into context and make it practical to you, so you're able to understand what I'm trying to say to you. I work in a boat company. We manufacture boats, from the scratch. We don't do repair, but at some point, once in a mini while, sorry, like we'll have this client who will come in and then disrupt, like our production line. So, they will come and then, like they will show us their boat and there is a crack or there is a damage. Mostly, like there are cracks, like around the boat. Like they'll tell us that this is a very small crack and we need you guys, like to fix it. But, like the interesting part of it all, they will go on to say that it will only take one day, like to fix, because on the surface level, it is very small. And when we look at it also, it's very small. But from our own perspective and what we know, we look at possible issues that may have caused, like the crack. It may be small, but it might be a structural issue. It might be a chemical kind of a reaction. There are so many things that we look at, and we'll come back to them and say, you know what, it will take 2 weeks for us to fix this. And when you look at the crack on the surface level, it's very, very small. Okay, it is just it is just insignificant, like to the number of days that we are talking about. But it's the root cause of it that we want to fix, because we can then paint that, let you go, and after 2 weeks, like you will come back. That is how most of us fix issues. That is how most of us heal. When we say we want to heal, that is what most of us do these days. We just focus on the behavior most of the time. We look at the surface level of things, and nothing just happened. Nothing just happened. The attitude, the habit, whatever now you have, did not come from nowhere. It started from somewhere. We've been into different environments. Like we've learned different things. We've been into different kind of a situation. We've been into different kind of circumstances. We've gone through some hard times, some tough time. Certain people that have come into our life, they have actually taught us how to fight in different ways. What if you're not broken? What if you're not broken? What if healing, and indeed healing, is not a repair? It's not, because you cannot say, like you are going to focus on those things and then, like you automatically think, like you are healing. You became hyper and independent because nobody shows up for you. You became controlling now because at some point chaos scared you. Like you become distant because closeness brought you pain, at some point. And if you look at those things, it doesn't mean you are broken. It might be, a crack, but a crack is sort of an awareness. It is like a notification that you get that, oh, maybe there is a little bit of a tweak that you need to do. So you need to go back a little bit and check. Maybe, like you are in a place now that you feel uncomfortable. You've developed all of these habits and this attitude and this kind of approach. And it can be, like to protect yourself. But you are in a new environment. You are with a new person. You are in a new gathering. You are in a new circle. And these kind of attitudes are uncomfortable. You are not broken. You've just learned some things, in your life that's now they are with you. and you have found yourself in a place wherein like you have to maintain like the balance. You have to be matured, because maturity say you have to be stable between 2 points. You have to keep the balance and maintain, not to tiptoe at one end, but to stay. That is all what you need to do. So fixing yourself has to go deeper than that. It doesn't have to look at your behavior. Your behavior is coming from somewhere. We have been cultured in different ways, and we behave the way we behave as a result of where we have been or the things that we face. And like we react or respond based on our perspectives. So listen, I want us now to go into it deeper. Let's now go into the understanding phase of it. All right. So when you shift from fixing to understanding, the inner dialogue changes. Instead of why am I like this, it becomes when did I learn this? Instead of what is wrong with me, it becomes what happens to me. And those two questions can actually provide a path into like the root cause. And here is something important. Understanding yourself doesn't mean excusing yourself. It actually means seeing yourself clearly. That is what it actually means. But you also take like responsibility, but your responsibility is now informed. You are no longer fighting yourself, like you're studying yourself, like you're no longer reaping stuff, like you're no longer trying to get rid of your flaws or your habit or your attitude. You are now trying to get to and understand yourself. And when you get to that place of actually understanding like the pattern, don't shame it, grow it. Because like, let's be honest here, healing is not only understanding, okay? Because if you only understand and never changes, it becomes an intellectual comfort where you say, oh, I know why I do the things I do, but you keep doing them. So that's not how it works. Like you have to be able to put like discipline, or perhaps healing is in two stages. Two, like you understand it and then you put a discipline adjustment. Because like you have to put in adjustment as soon as you are able to know that, oh, this is why I behave like the way I do. Like you put that on. So I'll close with this. Maybe like you don't need fixing. Maybe like you just need to be able to understand yourself very well before you go on to fix. Because whatever like you have learned now, like you've learned it like from the past. And these are things that like you pick along the way, and you did not pick those things during a time when everything was going well. These are values, and these are principles, and these are attitude, and these are characters, and these are approach, and these are response and reaction that you've picked along the way, and you've studied and learned these things. But now all what you need to do, you've come into a place where these things have become a little bit uncomfortable. All what you need to do is to try to investigate them. Don't try to fight yourself. Try to get an education about them first. Don't fight your flaws. Understand why you have these things, and then try to make the adjustment. Cut, trim, and see which one stays with you or which one like no longer serves you. That is how it's going to help you. It's not about fighting yourself. It's by understanding why you do like the things you do. So I'm going to leave this with you. Stay and then subscribe and then like and share and follow. I'll be with you soon. Take care. Let me know what you think about the video. Drop it in the comment section, and I'll be with you soon. For now, bye bye. This is Beyond Waiting.